point is vitamin D is not just what we think it is. I've tried to lay out that there are there are dozens of these D3 and L3 metabolites that are made in the mitochondria, and they all have bioactive activities, anti-inflammatory, immune stimulating, like they upregulate vitamin D receptors. So, if you have a receptor issue, it can kind of help, against that. Just anti-cancer, you name it. Like, it's just unbelievable effects. And you're not going to get that by taking the pill in general. You're going to make 25-hydroxy, you're going to make 125-hydroxy, and 125-hydroxy, which is also known as calcitriol, is the active form of vitamin D, quote unquote. It's what we learn about, in conventional medical training as being the vitamin D that is active. But we know now that there's a lot more than that. There's these D3 and these L3 lumisterol derivatives that also have biologic effects, and that you're not going to get by taking the pill, at least to the same degree that you do in the sun, because they're made in the same mitochondria where the vitamin D is actually converted when the UV hits it. Number one. Number two, if you look at studies where almost all cancers are associated with vitamin D deficiency, including skin cancer, which make sense, right? Because that means you're not getting any UV. And when they give the vitamin D pills and they get them adequate doses of vitamin D, the distinction or the discrepancy that you would see if it was truly a vitamin D issue are not made up for. And I've made that pretty clear, and I think definitely Dr. Cruz has made it very clear too. So there has to be something more than just the vitamin D, right? There has to be something else. And that's where you look at all the other things that are made when exposed to solar light. I've talked about it in detail, but it goes all the way from about 250 nanometers, which is right before UVC. UVC ends at about 260, 270, I think, nanometers, and it goes all the way up to like 3,000 nanometers, which is deep into the far infrared. And all of those spectrums likely have biologic activity. And so when you're getting sunlight, you're not just making vitamin D, you're making all the analogs, you're making alpha, beta, gamma, MSH. And I didn't realize this until just recently, but those just to go back to a little physiology, those stimulate melanin, production. You would think that those were like precursor hormones that don't have any other biologic effect. They do. They're powerfully anti-inflammatory. And so you have these other things that you're making. You get the ultraviolet will make nitric oxide in the skin and lower your blood pressure. There's all these other effects that you're getting from being exposed outside, not to mention melatonin in like nearly unlimited quantities, which we know has powerful cancer effects. So you need to, that's been one of the hardest things actually since starting this channel, is getting people, and trust me, I was indoctrinated too. I'm a functional medicine doctor, and in functional medicine, it's about give this pill for this. And it's very much like a green allopathy, which is kind of what turned me off to some degree about it, because it's like, you're just giving pills. You're not, one of my favorite quotes by Hippocrates is, true medicine is to like teaching people not to need it. And if I'm giving you a pill that you're going to take the rest of your life, how am I teaching you something you don't need? You know what I mean? Especially when you can get it outside for free. So it's like the cost issue is now gone. You know what I mean? And you're getting these other benefits that are not found in the pill. That's been my fight, is telling people, trying to make it to get it from the sun.
That's one of the reasons I think the sun is demonized. The sun gives you skin cancer because they can't sell you a pill otherwise.